Hello, everybody. This is Todd Nielsen with Clocktower Advisors, and I am live on LinkedIn. This is our first ever live stream broadcast, and hopefully, it's not only going to be me you're looking at, but I think we're going to have a lot of guests on this short format live stream show that I'm planning to air on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on LinkedIn. LinkedIn Live. I never thought I'd get here, guys. I have applied, I think, 4 or 5 times at least to become a LinkedIn Live broadcaster. And I am so excited that I got the notification actually just yesterday that the powers that be at LinkedIn have seen fit to let me be on the air and talk a little bit about online community. Hey, Jenny, great to see you out there. Appreciate you dropping in onto the stream. Hopefully you're going to be popping on as a guest here in the near future. The slots are filling up here pretty quickly, but hey, hello there from the UK. It looks like an anonymous user. I'm not sure who you are, but I don't know if you're Darren or somebody else that I know, but really glad to see you. Yeah, so if you're just popping in here out of curiosity, you don't know who I am or what I do, my name is Todd Nielsen. I run a company called Clocktower Advisors out of Wisconsin here in the United States, in a little town called Two Rivers, which I'm very proud of living in. I live on the lake shore of Lake Michigan, where I get to take walks on the beach every day and enjoy life out in the wild. Hi, Ann. Hi, great to see you. Marlo, thanks for dropping in. Looking forward to having you as a guest on Monday. I'm going to plug that in a little bit. So many great people saying hello. Oh, Pamela, great to see you. And hello, thank you for checking in from Milwaukee. Lots of great interactions. I'm humbled. I really appreciate everybody coming in to say hello, and please, bring your questions about community building in here. I love to be stumped by things and to talk about new ideas, new technologies, ways to engage people that we connect with online. The online world has made social interaction so much easier in recent years, and taking away those barriers to interaction, taking away the barriers of geography and physical distance. It's so great to be able to use these tools to stay connected with people we love and care about. And really, that's the idea behind this show, is to hear from people about their communities. Who are the people that you interact with on a regular basis? Who do you consider to be your tribe? And why do you keep going back there? So I'm going to have some sort of common questions that are going to come up on each of these streams whenever I have a guest on. What is your community? Why do you care about it? Why do you keep coming back? And I'm sure that the format is going to change over time a little bit as circumstances dictate, but I'm always happy to talk to people about what is exciting them right now, what kinds of projects or things that they're working on, and what they love to do. So three times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m. Central Time, US. And hopefully that's enough in the middle of the day that I catch my UK friends towards the end of the day and over in the EU. And my East Coast friends, it's not so early. I mean, my West Coast friends, it's not so early in the day that they can't catch it either. So one of the things that came up was some questions that people asked me was what am I hoping to share here, and is it just about online communities? I don't think you can pull apart online and offline communities. I think they are interconnected things these days. If you have, even if you have an honest to gosh knitting circle, you probably stay in touch via email. And so how we use technology to stay connected, to deepen those connections between the times when we can meet in person, I think is a really interesting question, and one that I'd like to see some further discussion of on this stream. The length of these is probably going to be really short format. I want to be respectful of everybody's time and everybody's day, and I recognize that people after about 20-25 minutes, attention flags, and people need to go elsewhere. So I'm hoping not to go any farther afield than that in terms of the amount of time online. Ideally, I'll do these 3 broadcasts a week here And then if I have longer form interviews, I'm planning to put those up on YouTube. And I've already done quite a bit of that. If you don't know already, Clocktower Advisors has a YouTube channel, and I post there, as well as to the Catalyzing the Future channel, where I'm running a series and have been simultaneously streaming to both places. The series is called Building Resilient Online Communities. And those are some longer form discussions. They may go 45 minutes to an hour. And the guests who are coming onto those interviews know what they're in for. It's going to be a longer kind of conversation, going a little deeper into some of the theory of community building and the academics of it, as well as the practice of it, and hopefully bringing a lot of deeper insights from those conversations. So. As far as other kinds of things coming up, like I said, I hope it's not just me on the channel talking. I want to have some, a large array of guests, and I've already started to line up some friends around that. But I will be sharing from time to time things that are interesting to me. Some of you may follow my weekly newsletter that I put out every Friday, called A View from the Clocktower. That's usually my nerdy musings about things having to do with community or entrepreneurship or digital strategy in general. And I may bring up some of those things on the streams, but I'm also hoping to bring in some other things, like a discussion of maybe the latest piece of research that I came across. One that's been on my mind for quite some time is a piece by Kokotis, Lapis, and Ransbotham, From Lurkers to Workers: Information Systems Research. It's actually a really interesting piece about the difference between your super users, the people that are regularly posting an awful lot, versus maybe somewhat lower confidence or just regular people who are members of your community, and then the so-called lurkers, who you can engage and who you can't engage. I did a live stream, some months ago, with Disciple Media on their live community, talking about the value of lurkers to online communities. And that question's been really kind of in the back of my mind. I think I've got a blog entry I'm sort of mentally working through right now that I'll be putting up on the Clocktower Advisors website sometime soon. But the research here was particularly interesting because I think you may have heard of the 99-1 rule, that 90% of the people in your community are silent, and 9% are your regulars, and then 1% are your really actives. I think that's shorthand. And what was interesting to me about this particular research piece, From Lurkers to Workers, and this just came out in 2020 in Systems Research, as an academic publication. They were actually indicating this maybe about 3% of your users are your super users, your super actives. They are higher confidence contributors, more likely to share or respond or add to something that somebody else has said, or to post something original. Your regular community members tend to be maybe about 18% of that user base, and your lurkers somewhere around maybe 79% or so. So the numbers are slightly different, a little closer to the 80-20 rule, it almost seems like to me, than the 99-1 rule. But what is especially intriguing to me about the article is the lurkers who can be engaged versus those who can't be engaged. And there's a difference. And how much time do you bother spending going after those individuals and getting them actively involved? So anyways, I'm hoping to bring little tidbits like that to you, stuff that's on my mind that I'm thinking about in terms of community building and things that I bring to my consultancy and try to help customers with directly. As far as other stuff that's going on, I do have some upcoming guests already lined up and very excited. In fact, Marlo, who's on the stream here, is going to be coming in. I just saw your comment, Marlo. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know about grit, but I did just keep reapplying and finally got in. That was really neat. Yeah, Jenny, I'll be happy to post that link up as soon as the stream is done here. I'll add it to the ongoing discussion. What was I just saying? Hey. always say I've got a one-track mind and it's easily derailed. So I want to respond to people in the stream as things come up. So we do have some other guests coming up, and my first guest, I'm excited to say, is going to be Marlo Weingart of Humane Resourcing Incorporated. She is a business coach and leadership training expert. She's going to be talking about community. I haven't had a direct conversation with Marla yet, except we've exchanged messages over LinkedIn. But I'm so excited about what she's doing. I want to hear about her community and what she's doing. And I hope you'll be able to join me on Monday at 11 a.m. for that. Beyond that, I've got some other guests already lined up for next week. On Wednesday, I'm going to have Assistant Professor Rainan McClanahan. He's at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. And Rainan and I are both members of an online community called Engineering Unleashed, which is about bringing entrepreneurship into engineering classrooms for undergraduates. And Rainan is a ball of fire. He's an amazing guy. And he wrote a book, and I didn't know, it's a short book. It's up on Amazon. It's called Solidarity. And it's about building solidarity in groups, teams, and in communities. The underlying science around empathy and why people that we no longer feel empathy with, it's very difficult to get back to a place of empathy, and what kinds of things can be done for that. I'm really looking forward to digging in to a conversation with him about that. And hey, Pat Maher from SPR, great to see you, man. I really appreciate you being able to make it onto the stream here, buddy. Anyway, so Rainan is going to be on Wednesday at 11. And he is going to be a fascinating conversation, really neat, engaged guy. And man, I wish I had him as an engineering teacher as a student, because he brings so much interest to the work that he does. He's really focused on having engaging classroom experience and has done some really cool stuff. There's a lot of neat people in Engineering Unleashed. And if you are in an engineering discipline, you are welcome to join that. People from industry as well as academics are in the space. And it is a really incredible community that I've been involved with for a few years now. Hey, John Summers from Grazidi. Grazidi Interactive is a partner of Clocktower Advisors, and John is the awesome leader of their community's practice and community management as a service. Hoping to have him on the show sometime soon as well. We'll get him connected. But in the meantime, you should check out John's podcast because it is awesome. I just saw an advertisement about that this morning on LinkedIn. So if you're not connected with John, you should go ahead and hook up with him as well. Does amazing work. Pat Maher, if you don't know him, Pat and I worked together for many years at SPR when I was working in IT consulting and was in the recruiting world. And Pat does incredible work engaging the community of persons with disabilities and just being a leader and all-around terrific guy in the Chicagoland market and known nationally for his work working with people with disabilities. So it's wonderful to see so many friends, on the call here today. And then Friday, this coming week, Friday, June the 25th, I get to have on my friend and colleague and longtime associate, Phil Gerbyshak. Phil Gerbyshak is he's a sales consultant, but he's really a sales consultant with a difference. He connects with people really warmly, really closely. Just one of the most human, wonderful people that I've met in my travels. He and I first connected up, I think maybe back in 2007, 2008, maybe before that a little bit in Milwaukee, where he was directly involved with an event we got started up called Job Camp. And that was an unconference style event designed to help people who had been caught in the economic downturn at that time. And many of those individuals had not been in the job market for 10 or more years. They had this new stuff called LinkedIn and learning how to look for jobs electronically, learning how to stay motivated in a down job market. And we provided this really fun, open event with all kinds of abilities for people to get their resume checked, upload a LinkedIn profile, get advised about how to position themselves, go to talks by all kinds of people that worked as business coaches and leadership people. I really wish the whole idea of the job fair would just go away and die. I think we need things that are a lot more directed towards helping the community of people who are in a search, and seeing that they're supported, and give them the love that they need at a time when they need it, rather than just putting them in a situation where they're handing a resume off to a recruiter or a human resources person at a booth. These need to be more interactive, more lively events, and I may get the opportunity to do a little bit of that here in Manitowoc County in the Two Rivers Market. But if anybody's interested in the job camp concept for their marketplace, I would be happy to talk a little bit more about that in the future. Hey, Marielle. Oh my gosh, it has been a while. It's great to see you again. Thanks for popping onto the stream. I really appreciate the support. And Jim DeLong. Wow. Yes, man. Jim DeLong is an absolutely brilliant guy who I've met now many years ago. But really appreciate you coming in and saying hello as well. Jim is always working on something new and interesting in the technology space. He is a guy to follow, and definitely someone who has been a part of my brain trust for an awfully long time. Jim, thank you for coming. It's good to see you. So that's next week. Monday, Marla Weingart. Wednesday, Raina McClanahan talking about solidarity. And Friday, Phil Gerbishak. Hopefully we'll reminisce a little bit about Job Camp. We'll talk a little bit about his more recent adventures and his own podcasting work, which is brilliant. I've tuned in on some of his shows. He's absolutely amazing. And then the following week, we've got a couple people lined up. A gentleman by the name of Rocco Haro, who is the founder of Kickback Space Incorporated. I had a chance to meet him about a week or two ago, and he is doing some incredible innovative work around removing some of the social barriers to doing a lot networking events online. So if you've had the experience of being in breakout rooms in Zoom to do sort of one-on-one networking, it feels a little artificial. The way that it's set up, a little bit limiting in terms of the one-on-one nature of it. You can't just kind of browse from person to person. He's working on something that's going to upend that, and it's really interesting. I don't know how much he'll be willing to share with us because it's still under development, but just a brilliant technologist and entrepreneur. Want to talk a little bit about his entrepreneurial journey. So Rocco Haro, that's Monday, June the 28th. And then a little further out, June 30th, to be confirmed, I'm hoping maybe to get Scott Wintereth of the Content Academy from down in Chicago to be on. He's another amazing guy, and I've been on his show, and he's had he's got incredible ideas, and supportive of all kinds of content creators online, and really enjoy conversations with him. I think you'll enjoy him as a guest too. Pat. Yeah, Pat was part of Job Camp. He was one of the big supporters for that when we did it back in 2008. We did about five of them. Just made some lifelong friends at that event. It was all volunteer run. It was totally not for profit. We had an amazing time with it. So anyways, I've been going about 20 minutes. I should probably think about wrapping this up pretty soon. But I would be remiss if I did not do a shout out to my friend and colleague, Richard Millington, who I worked with at Fever for some time. Rich just had his newest book released called Build Your Community. Rich was an organization. Fever is an organization that I worked with some years ago, but still stay on very friendly terms with. He's had a great journey and is doing lots of amazing work. I think this is his third book that's out. You can catch his unboxing of it on. I think he has it up on LinkedIn and on his Instagram feed. But I haven't had a chance to delve into it yet. If somebody has read it, I'd love to hear what you thought of it, and go from there. I'm still kind of working my way through John O'Bacon's book, and I still have to read David Spinks's that's out there. So that my reading list is full for a little while here. It's just always the influx of information to deal with and to try to assimilate and stay abreast of what everybody's thinking. And there's so much good stuff that's happening in the online community space now. Just keeping your arms around it is a full-time job. But I think that kind of brings me all the way around. I would at some point like to give an overview. There was an online webinar that I was participating in through my friend Darren Guff at Island 23. There was an opportunity to talk about health tech brands, sort of protecting your reputation in your health tech communities. And I spent some time. It was something through the UK's German Chamber of Commerce, and through Darren, I consider Island 23 as sort of a sister company, sibling company. Darren and I partner an awful lot on projects together globally. And he was on holiday and suggested me as a speaker for this group. And it was a group talking about how you manage transparency and reputation for your health tech brand. I think there's some broadly applicable lessons that were around that. I'll maybe drop that in if we have some time around some other guests as it happens. And yeah, you bet. That's got to be Darren out there. For some reason, you're anonymized on the profile, but great to see you as well, man. And then also I have there's an upcoming webinar that I'm going to be on through an organization called Bright Talk that is sponsored by ZMags, and it's on e-commerce and dynamic mail campaigns. You may be saying, Todd, that's not online communities. What are you talking about that stuff for? Well, I do consider myself a bit of a digital strategy generalist, and I like to know a lot about a lot of different things. I was invited to be on as the host for this particular webinar, and I think it's going to be put up next week. So watch my feed. I'll put the links up as soon as it's live. But it was fascinating to talk to some people in the e-commerce space about dynamic email marketing. So dynamic emails, more interactive. It's almost sort of, think of it as bringing your website into your email. And the point of it being to reduce the friction between somebody seeing a product that they like and being able to purchase it. And so fewer hoops to jump through, fewer clicks, make it a little easier, nicer experience. It was a fascinating conversation. I was glad to be a part of it. And so, like I said, I'll put that up in the links next week. Bill O'Connor. Bill O'Connor is a friend that I met down in Chicago many years ago. Bill is an amazing guy, advocate also for persons with disabilities, and just a brilliant person that has stayed in touch over the years. Bill, wonderful to see you, and I really appreciate you dropping into this as well. So I'm coming up on about 23 minutes. This is probably enough. Just you guys listening to me ramble on about this and that, but I do appreciate everybody's time and everybody tuning in. Would love to hear your feedback or ideas for the stream, and I will happily evolve it over time. And like I said, looking forward to having some other guests on as well. If you have not already, I invite you to follow my weekly newsletter. It's a once-a-week newsletter, comes out on Fridays. It's called A View from the Clocktower. I talk about similar sorts of topics. What's on my mind with community management or online community strategy during, what kind of stuff have I encountered during the week? What's happening in the world of entrepreneurship or economic development. There may be some local things I'm involved with, or there may be some more macro level kinds of discussions. And then finally, just overall digital strategy sort of work. What sorts of tools are interesting to me? What sorts of platforms are doing some cool stuff? What's just sort of bounced off my brain this week that I happen to be thinking of? So it's a little stream of consciousness. If that doesn't bother you, if you don't mind hearing from me in your inbox once a week, I'd encourage you to go ahead and sign up for that. And then finally, if I can be of any help to you, if you're looking at community build, if you're running into a challenge or an issue with keeping your community engaged or getting them engaged in the first place, if you need help with a digital marketing strategy or communications plan, I encourage you, please reach out to me via my profile. Just drop me a direct message. You can reach me at todd@clocktoweradvisors.com or visit me on my website at clocktoweradvisors.com. That's it for today, I think. That is quite enough. You guys have probably gotten sick of me by now, but thank you again, all of you for tuning in. Love to hear back from you, hear your ideas, and I hope that you have an excellent weekend that's relaxing, rejuvenating. and I'll see you back here again on Monday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.